Hi, as I have explained, my name is Oleksiy Kozhanov and I'm the Secretary General of ICC Ukraine, but previously I was the Vice President for Electronic Commerce and Digital Solutions, which explains my particular interest and support for the Rebuild Ukraine portal. In this presentation, I will explain why we have developed the Rebuild Ukraine portal and how we have updated it since its launch in March of this year. It is our belief that the participation of more foreign companies in the Rebuild Ukraine program is to the benefit of Ukraine. They can provide resources, experience, and technology that are either in short supply or are simply not available in Ukraine. Therefore, we have taken a close look at what is available from the official Ukrainian government platforms and matched those against what foreign companies have told us that they need. The portal and its supporting services have been designed to bridge the gap between what is being provided and what is needed. Let's have a look at what the portal provides. The Ukrainian government has two great platforms for supporting the Rebuild Ukraine program. All Rebuild Ukraine public sector projects are initiated in DREAM. They are then refined, funded, and approved before being registered in Prozoro. Projects are then published for tender. To bid, companies have to register with an approved e-tender platform. We reviewed the various such platforms that exist and have chosen Public Bid as being the most user-friendly to foreign participation. The portal, offering additional support and business matching services, connects to all three of these platforms. So, this is what the structure looks like, but what services does the portal offer that these platforms do not? Let's have a look at these on the next slide. As you can see, the key features of the portal are as follows. It provides a single interface into both DREAM and Prozoro. As you will see, this allows you to track projects from inception to completion. Moreover, as you will also see, this is a key factor in having sufficient time to prepare your bids. You can decide which projects are of interest to you so that you can concentrate on tracking these. There is an email alert system which advises you when new projects have been added and when projects have had their status changed. Currently, the Rebuild program is so dynamic that this is almost a daily event. In addition to the links to DREAM and Prozoro, the portal is linked to Public Bid, but if you decide to use another e-tender platform, that's fine. In recognition of the fixed administrative costs of bidding for a project, we have included a filter which excludes projects worth less than $500,000. This makes it easier for subscribers to concentrate on potentially profitable projects. We have now upgraded the services available within the portal to find Ukrainian business partners and support services. There are very few projects, if any, where foreign companies can carry out all aspects of these projects without some level of support. We strongly advise foreign companies to look for partnerships before deciding to be involved in making bids. Indeed, we would suggest that this should be your second step after subscribing to the portal. By the way, the portal works to support DREAM, Prozoro, and Public Bid, not to compete with them. Without these features, foreign companies are only able to access this information by making online web queries on a daily basis to both platforms, plus the issue of finding their own Ukrainian partners and support services. Let's now have a look at the portal itself. Here you can see the portal's homepage. There are the standard features you would expect of any business website, but we would draw your attention to one detail in particular, 1,200, which is the indicative number of projects covered by the portal on the 29th of October. As each project is worth at least $500,000, this represents over $600 million of projects, undoubtedly significant opportunities. Now we will have a look inside the portal. When you enter the portal, you will see the dashboard of projects. You will see that projects are categorized according to their status. As you can see, projects are categorized as follows: pending or initiation. These are early stage projects published on DREAM. They're being refined and are waiting for approval and funding. This is the start of the project pipeline. As my colleague Oleksandr Ostrianin explained in his presentation, practical steps to access finance through DREAM. To have the best chance of winning a project, companies should look at these projects to see if they can become involved in helping the project promoter to prepare their project documentation. Active. These projects have been approved and have a well-defined scope within DREAM. Finding projects of interest in DREAM gives you time to prepare offers for when they are posted in Prozoro, but do remember they are subject to editing, and when they are posted in Prozoro, they may be broken down into sub-projects. Bidding. These projects are now officially open for tender on Prozoro. These projects will also include procurement contracts that have not been processed through DREAM. By law, all public sector procurement projects must be posted on Prozoro. The portal, however, still applies the $500,000 filter. Qualification. Bids have been submitted, and Prozoro is reviewing them to decide who qualifies for the next stage. Auctions. Qualified bids enter the auction phase. Awarding. Prozoro selects the winning bidder based on the criteria published earlier. Contracting. The winner has been informed and final contract terms are being negotiated. Contract signing. The deal is finalized and the contract is signed. The winner's contact details are also published so everyone can see who won which contracts. So that's how you can track projects of interest throughout their full life cycle, from early planning to contract signing. Now I would like to draw your attention to the details ringed in red. Starting from left to right, the number 478 is the number of projects listed in this category. This category is the active category. Below the category you can see the list of projects beginning with a brief description of the project and the date when it was posted, in this case the 28th of October. Moving right, you can see the estimated value of the project expressed in local currency. You can decide whether to track or not track this project. If you click on this option, that project will then be moved to the archive, as you will see on the next slide. The final point on the right is the detail option. Click on this and you will see more project details. All projects that you have chosen not to be tracked appear in the archive with the status no track. However, if you change your mind and do want to track this project, you just have to uncheck the no track button. However, let's assume that the project we highlighted in the previous slide is of interest and we want to see more details. The next slide will give you an example of what you can expect to see. Here we are still in the portal. Looking at an active dream project, you will see more details than was shown in the brief description, and there are even more details shown further below on this page. If you then want to see everything that is published in Dream, there is a button below the budget figure, which will take you directly to that project in Dream, as we will see on the next slide. Here, the portal has opened a new tab and shows what has been published in Dream. This will provide you with even more details about the project. You now have access to a lot of information about a project that is being prepared for tender. If this interests you, you now have a sufficient level of information to prepare your draft offer. On the next two slides, we will follow a project that is actively in the bidding phase and has been published in Prozoro. If you choose a project categorized under bidding, you will see something like this. Again, there is a brief description of the project and the date published in this category. You can check the estimated value of the project, and if you are interested in having more details, simply click on Details. You are still in the portal. The information here provides a little more detail. If you now want access to the full details published in Prozoro, just click on the blue button, Tender Page. This will take you into Prozoro, as we will see on the next slide. Here we are now inside Prozoro looking at the published tender details for this project. By the way, the number ringed in red is the reference number which is common to the project in both Dream and Prozoro and allows for the tracking across these platforms. You will now see that, although elements of this information are provided in English, there are many elements which are in Ukrainian. For these, some can be translated by Google Translate or similar, others should be translated by an experienced translator. You can find key information further down this page, as we will see on the next slide. Here we can see that the tender was published on the 29th of October and the deadline for submitting a proposal is the 14th of November. That's just 16 days. In fact, we carried out an analysis of the average time between tenders being published and their submission deadline. This average is just 14 days to prepare a submission for contracts worth in excess of $500,000. We would suggest that very few foreign companies are able to prepare submissions of this nature in this time frame, unless they can prepare their submissions in advance because they have been tracking projects before publication. This would give them weeks, if not months more to prepare. And they have already established relationships with Ukrainian partners and support services so that these inputs can also be included in their submissions. This further strengthens Alexander Ostrianin's recommendation that businesses should offer to collaborate with project promoters at an early stage of the project lifecycle. The portal gives the time to prepare and early access to Ukrainian counterparts. Two key ingredients to create a winning formula, and the benefits don't stop there. The portal takes you to the next step. As was mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, submissions have to be made through an officially recognized e-tender platform, and we chose Public Bid for its ease of use. From within the portal, you can connect and register with Public Bid before you have to make any submissions, so that everything is ready for when you do want to make a submission. And then there are the email alerts as an added feature. Once a day in the morning, the portal will advise you by email whether new projects have been added or have had their status changed, making tracking even easier. The link to the login page is provided. All you have to do is click and check. Now we mentioned the business matching and support service function. Let's look at these. From the left-hand menu, there is now the new item business matching. This consists of 3 tabs. The opening tab, where you can see the relevant contacts in ICC Ukraine who can help you with specific industries or questions relating business matching with Ukrainian companies. There is also the list with contact details of all the relevant Ukrainian trade associations, should you want to check these independently. The third tab is a directory of relevant Ukrainian companies in the key industry sectors of aerospace and defense, construction and infrastructure, engineering, environment, manufacturing, mining and metals, and power and energy. Then we have support services listed under the help desk. These follow a similar construction. First, the relevant contacts in ICC Ukraine, then the trade associations, and finally the company lists. Please note that these business matching and help desk databases are just in their first manifestation. Although they already list many hundreds of relevant entities, they will be expanded with increased information and navigation tools. More updates to come. For the Ukrainian companies and organizations present in the audience, please note that we will be in touch with you all about improving your profiles in these directories and that there will be no charge for your inclusion. Of course, as I am sure that many of you will appreciate, there is an annual subscription fee to access the portal and its services. The full subscription price is €2,500 per annum. We are so confident of the immediate value of the service that you can try it free of charge for 14 days. Also, there is a special discount of 20% for those of you who register your subscriptions by tomorrow. The coupon will be mailed to you today, or you can access it from TradeTech's stand in the expo. You still have a no-commitment trial for 14 days. You can cancel at any time before the expiry of the trial period, but if you use the coupon, you will qualify for that discount. We are sure that you will find it excellent value for a unique service, which I will summarize on the next slide. We've covered a lot, but in summary, we can say the portal's unique features provide a single interface into Dream, Prozoro, and Public Bid, with the ease of use and personalization that this then allows. You can track projects from inception to contract closure. This means especially that you can have the time to collaborate where possible with project promoters and prepare your draft submissions well in advance of the average 14 days that, depending upon publication, in Prozoro provides. The email alerts provide timely prompts regarding new projects and changes to current projects. Finally, support services and the business matching services help you find the right Ukrainian counterparties that you will need to generate success. Essentially, the portal represents your gateway to a market worth hundreds of millions of dollars that is expected to flourish for the next decade and beyond. Thank you for watching the video introduction to the updated Rebuild Ukraine portal. My contact details are on this slide. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. My name is Oleksiy Kozhanov. Together we can build a better future for Ukraine. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you again for your attention and interest.